Welcome to the replay of the round 2 AFL clash between Carlton and Brisbane at Etihad Stadium. Both teams coming off round 1 wins, and Carlton's lineup with its big guns, Judd and Favola, leading a long list of young players on the rise, including Mitch Robinson, Jeff Garlett, Sam Jacobs and Aaron Joseph, all playing in their second game of AFL football. And they're up against the highly potent Brisbane with Jonathan Brown and Daniel Bradshaw up forward, and a midfield led by the returning Simon Black. Let's go to the action. Cruiser up against Leuenberger, and we're away. Round 2. Russell in quickly, and Daniel Rich, an early tackle.
Dwayne, it's interesting you mentioned those matchups down back. Thornton with the job on Jonathan Brown. Jared Waits ended up on Justin Sherman. I kind of thought it might have been the other way round, because Thornton can play tall and small, but Wade will certainly try to be an attacking option off half-back.
A couple of players had it lost at power. One of them, Leuenberger, another tackled.
And Dwayne Hadley had thrown in the midfield to... not sure who he's going to yet, but he's going into the midfield to really throw the Gibbs, Judd, Murphy out of control.
Murphy, speaking of, Bauer, Joseph, in just his second game. Houlihan, an outstanding week last week, short for Wiggins. Houlihan down behind play, coming off that 29-possession game last week. Mitch Robinson in the pocket. Again, Murphy rolled it. He was out of play as he kicked it, and he was out of bounds on the full, in fact.
That's what he was doing last week, Dwayne. He was running, and he was running deep, and that's why he was probably best on ground last week, Murphy, just running all day and getting as many possessions as possible.
See, the kick from Wiggins showed a lot of confidence in Mitch Robinson. It probably wasn't the right option, kicking deep to the pocket, but good to have the confidence to kick to a young kid.
Oh, he's dead. Favola again, chasing magnificently.
And that was 20 tackles inside 50 last week, and they've started fantastically again. If Brendan Favola continues defensive action like he did with that tackle, he is going to step up again, and he's already a fantastic player, but doing that adds another string to your bow. Where
that really hurts is you've got a 2-on-1, and the communication wasn't there, either a shepherd or a hand pass, and you get neither. And now instead of that, you have Favola having a shot for goal, and he's so dangerous in this situation.
As the boys said in the intro, coming off that record for the Blues, 82 tackles last week. Outstanding game by all the Blues, and Brendan Favola leads from the front. That splits the middle.
That is just the perfect start for Carlton. I mean, they really would have wanted that, and from a defensive action, you couldn't hope for a better start. Brendan Favola gets off to a good start, and he's a confidence player. That will really help them. Mitch Robinson getting in the play, Murphy getting in the play. The guys you need to have the ball in their hands.
Got caught in two minds, unfortunately, Mitch Clark. The last thing you want to do is give Brendan Favola a bit of confidence early in the game.
Boys, just keep an eye on power and Judd.
Wasn't only caught in two minds, Mitch Clark, he was just caught. Brendan Favola, a tackle and goal. What bruised heel.
Now we've got Josh Drummond loose at one end in defence, and looks like Thornton or Waite alternating as the loose man in the other end.
Hadley quickly tackled. Rich ties it up in the middle. Still inside the centre square. And the second gamer getting some treatment there from Aaron Joseph. So another second gamer.
And it looks like Power and Judd are going head-to-head, which will just be a fascinating contest.
Well, the umpire's down. Umpire Ray Chamberlain's down. And a few of the crowd enjoyed that. Hooper, outstanding 4-goal week last week. First quarter wasn't so good. And he gets the kick early, and the mark to Thornton. Jonathan Brown made him earn it.
Positioned himself well, though, Brett Thornton. If the quick kick was going to come out, you just see he just trips over the feet of Power and Judd there. But Thornton knew that the quick kick would fall short, so he stood in front of Jonathan Brown.
Hadley. Wait there, Michael. You heard the umpire's call. Didn't want to turn it over, so just shoots the handball back. 1-2 is okay. Houlihan, White, caught. Tries to throw it back again, but Judd might have to mop up this mess. Does so. Houlihan, this kick better. Releases Thornton to the open side. Betts is on the move, and he's called into it. Well played by Simpson. Caught him in. Gibbs, Favola, 2 to beat. Half held. Crowd want a free, don't get it. Patfull, little fumble. Fair fighting hard again. Patfull, McGrath. Out of trouble, Sherman. Good hands.
And both teams, Dwayne, have created good space in their forward line early. Don't seem to be as many players dropping back as normal, and Power getting off Judd here.
Yeah, you can just see Brendan Favoli actually locked the arm of Daniel Merritt, his opponent behind him, so no free kick definitely.
Power to Riscatelli, then to McDonald. Johnston. Best game of his Brisbane line career, 37 possessions last week. Travis Johnston hits the target. Power. Jonathan Brown's on the move, can't get there to attempt the mark. Waits for him, hunts him down, shrugs him short. Hooper, just the required 15.
That is great work from Jonathan Brown. You can see the loose man's Jared Waite as Justin Sherman pushes up the ground. He stays back loose in defence. So Thornton sags off. He's got Waite putting pressure on, but look at the little jink of the hips. Just gets rid of Waite and then spots up Rowan Hooper.
Terrific vision. I mean, most players go to the goal square there. To be able to spot the player shorter and give Hooper a shot for goal gives your teammates confidence, and if he kicks this, it's a great confidence booster for the Lions.
Kicked 3 of his 4 goals last week in the third term to bring the Lions back from the dead. This levels the scores early, opening term.
And Brisbane working through the middle of the ground there with Power getting his hands on the ball and going to Jonathan Brown. Jonathan Brown here, his ability to shrug weight off shows the power he does have in his hips. And as you mentioned, Jason, just a great kick. And Hooper's a man that they will need to kick goals. If he can kick the goals he kicked last week and take the pressure off Bradshaw and Brown, it will add to the potency of this Brisbane forward line.
Quiet now, Todd. Hey, quiet when he's going to the bounce. Thanks, guys. Rich. Yeah. Lukey. Thanks, boys. Thanks.
And has had some good games against Carlton. Rowan Hooper kicked 4 goals in the game that Jonathan Brown kicked that record 10 goals against Carlton back in 2007. Scores level. Good crowd in here at Etihad.
Wow.
First game back for Simon Black. A little rusty perhaps. Russell on the end of it, kicks forward. Patfull, boundary line his friend. He knew it. He went for it. And he disguised it well enough.
Jordan Russell's got the job on Travis Johnson. You said in the pre-match, Hurdy, that he'd be one they wouldn't let run around because he cut them up last week when unattended.
Definitely, Jason. You can't afford to let Johnson go free. He can kill you with his disposal.
Judd, perfect knockdown. Betts out of the training drill. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that.
Look, the hands of Chris Judd there to get it to Eddie Betts is a great finish by Eddie Betts and great goal. And if you watch the hands of Chris Judd as it comes off the pack, it's just so clean, and Crispin knows where his teammate is. He didn't even look to see where Betts was. And look, it's to say this is Betts' bread and butter, it would be silly, but you know, he kicks too many of those to say it's a fluke. Watch here how he doesn't even look to where he's handballing. He hears the voice and bang, out it goes. Terrific play.
Okay, mate. He's clear behind you, right? So getting on there.
Had a good summer too, Eddie Betts. Hasn't always come back after the summers in good condition. One year came back and Lance Whitnell beat him around Princess Park in one of the distance runs. And
that is a worry, Dwayne, when Lance is beating you around.
Another year he went swimming with Tony Liberatore at Gunnamatta, and Tony Liberatore had to pull him out of the surf. So he has come back in good shape this year and reaping the rewards. Palm down, Black, Power, almost mixed that up a little. Caught again and dumped Adcock. Power with a slap onto Johnston. Slips his way through Hadley. Spears the pass to Brown. How's that for hands?
Well, that's one of the reasons that Travis Johnson has been sought after. He can tease you at times because he hasn't developed the consistency everyone would love to see him get. But when he does use the ball like this, you can see why there is so much desire to have him in the lineup. He just needs to get his hands on the ball more, make sure that his work ethic is at a very high level, week in, week out.
That's what Jonathan Brown has ahead of him. Good hit. And that splits the middle and scores a level again.
Well, he had a nice channel to lead straight up the middle of the ground, Jonathan Brown. And if there's going to be a loose man in defence, you'd certainly like to see him take that corridor away.